Hi guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for another video. In today's video, it is the team selection stream for Matchday 5, which is the quarterfinals for the World Cup fantasy game. Just want to say, if everyone is coming into the stream, please do drop a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Before we start, how you doing, Jordan? How are you? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. It's nice to have this little two-day break before the quarterfinals kick off, as they do on Friday. And yeah, can't wait to see what madness happens in that.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of football because of the World Cup, so it is a bit of a nice break from yesterday and then today, and then we kick off again tomorrow, don't we, with the games, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, let's get into it. Got Never Give Up FPL, who says hello to famous duo. Hello to you, mate. Hope you're well.
Hello.
I'm curious how many English players you are getting in your teams. I'm guessing more than my two. Well, you will find out in a sec, actually. Yeah, we'll discuss England as well, of course. England play tomorrow, though, don't they? Or was it tomorrow?
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Croatia, Brazil, and Argentina, Netherlands are playing tomorrow. So yeah, football is back. So we thought we'd go live for you and do the team selection. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to bring up my team and discuss who I've selected. So yeah, as you guys can see with the screen right now, this was my team after match day 4. So in goal, I've got Alisson, who's got a fixture against Croatia. Now, I think Brazil are probably one of the favourites now to win. They are the bookies' favourites to win the whole competition. So definitely we want to back Brazil. Croatia did struggle, I thought. They weren't great in their last round. Obviously, they've gone through, so credit to them. But I don't think Croatia have been great this World Cup. And obviously, playing Brazil is going to be a tough game for them, as I expect Brazil to get the job done there. And Alisson, I think, probably the best fixture in terms of a clean sheet for the set of fixtures in the quarterfinals. So I've gone Alisson in goal. I expect Brazil to keep a clean sheet, more likely than any of the other teams, if I'm honest. So yeah, he's in there. That was an easy choice for me. Moving on to the back four, I've got Otamendi, who's got Netherlands. We'll have to see what I do with Otamendi, because obviously he's in the plans to move out as a transfer. But he's got a fixture against Netherlands. I actually think Netherlands is going to be a tough game for Argentina. I think it's going to be quite low scoring. I think it even could go to penalties. So we'll have to wait and see with Otamendi, but he's one that I'm definitely considering taking out my team. Moving on to Theo Hernandez, who's got England. Marquinhos, who's got Croatia. And then Luke Shaw's got France. I've got a midfield three of Olmo, Bruno Fernandes, and Saka. I've got Messi. I've got Mbappe and Richarlison up front as well. Now, in the bench, I've got Martinez, Rabiot, Klaassen, and Danilo. So that is the Matchday 4 team, guys. So as you see by the top right-hand corner, I do have 0.5 million in the bank. And I also have 5 free transfers. So let me just show you guys what my current thinking is and strategy in regards to using my transfers for Matchday 5. So currently, as you guys can see, I do have Olmo in midfield. We know Morocco did win that one in penalties. So Spain are eliminated from the tournament. So there's no use to me having Spain players. So I'm going to get rid of him. That's an easy one, an obvious one. Also, I'm considering removing Otamendi, because I think Otamendi against Netherlands, I think Netherlands could get a goal in this one. And I'll be a bit surprised if Argentina did keep a clean sheet, if I'm honest. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go for Otamendi out, and I'll come on to for who in a sec. Almost going for sure. We spoke about that. And Bruno, and another one that maybe could go, but I think I'm going to keep him in there for now. And yeah, so let's take out the players. So Olmo is going out my team, as well as Otamendi. So 2 transfers, guys, I'm going to do. Otamendi out and Olmo out. And I'm bringing in Guerrero and Paqueta. So hopefully you guys saw that. Um, Otamendi and Olmo out for Guerrero and Paqueta. Now I'm going to quickly explain my decisions more regarding why I did it. So obviously Allison spoke about him. I've gone with Guerrero because I wanted a wing back that has attacking threat really. So we saw what Guerrero did in the last game against Switzerland. He did get a goal and an assist, and he's now right at the top of my list as a player you guys should be looking to bring in. And he's got a fixture against Morocco. We know Portugal are playing well now after their game, the 6-1 win, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
6-1 win.
And yeah, I really like Guerrero. He's attacking fullback, up and down. He can get goals, get assists, and potentially, maybe, you never know, keep a clean sheet. So yeah, he's coming in for sure. Definitely, I've already done that transfer, and he is locked in. Hernandez is in because I've had him for a while now, and I think he's another attacking left back that can chip in with the odd assist. And he does play on that left hand side and links up well with Mbappe. Marquinhos has been in my team. He stays. He's got Croatia. I think I can see a clean sheet, as I say. I've gone double Brazil at the back. Luke Shaw, who I do have playing currently, who's got France. We'll see how France and England do match up. I think that's going to be a tough game for Luke Shaw in regards to keeping a clean sheet, but he's in my team anyway. Midfield three, I've gone Paqueta. Now, the only reason I've gone with Paqueta is because he's a midfielder. Obviously, most of the Brazilian players that I want are actually forwards. You got Richarlison, you got Neymar, you got Vinicius Junior, and Paqueta is one of those players that is listed as a midfielder. So he is an obvious move in for my team, definitely coming in for Olmo. And yeah, he's got Croatia, and I expect Brazil to go through. Bruno Fernandes stays. He's got a fixture against Morocco, which I think is a nice one for him, and Portugal. I do expect Portugal to go through. We'll have to wait and see with the injuries to Morocco's centre backs. We know Roman Saiss and Aguard are still looking like they're injured. So if they are both out, I think Portugal will probably find that one a lot easier if those other two are playing. So one to watch on that one. I think Portugal will go through, but yeah, Bruno does stay for me. Moving on to Saka, who's got a fixture against France. We've spoke about this game. We think it's going to be a tight one. Obviously, I think England will probably struggle in this one. I mean, I would love to know your guys' thoughts, what you think is going to happen in the England and France game, but I'm kind of split. I keep changing my mind every second on it, but I've not backed England heavily. As you can see, I've gone with 2 England players, but I've also gone with 2 or 3 French players. So bless you. So Saka's in the team. And yeah, I think Saka's in there because I wanted an England forward. I didn't want to back England too much, but I think I mean, I like the Saka. I've had him from pretty much match day 2, and he's done all right. He's ticked along nicely, and he did score again in match day 4, wasn't it? So yeah, he stays in my team. And I think he's another good option to have. And then finally, moving on to the front three, I've got Messi, Mbappe, and Richarlison. I think I've had the same front three from the previous match day. And yeah, Messi's got Netherlands, who I think, Messi, you've got to have him surely by now. I've had him since match day 1. He's going to stay. He's got Netherlands. As I said, I expect this to be a tough game, but I'm not going to move Messi out because I think he can still score in this game, and he's going to be key if Argentina are yet to advance further into the tournament. Mbappe's got England. Sorry, and we know Mbappe's on fire. 5 goals already in this World Cup. He'll be looking to get 6 or 7 against England. I think Mbappe is one you've got to have as well, even though he's got England. Obviously, I want England to win, but the form is Mbappe in. I don't think you can go without him. Richarlison also completes the front line with Croatia. And yeah, Richarlison's been playing brilliantly as well in the tournament so far. And we know, the way Brazil are playing right now, they're looking very good. I know Korea, people will say it was an easy chance. Easy game for them because of the way Korea defended. But I still expect Brazil to do well as Richarlison. So Croatia is a good fixture for him, and I'm definitely going to hold on to him. I could have went Neymar. I had the money to go up to him, but I think I'm going to stay on Richarlison. And yeah, Richarlison is my captain as well, guys. So obviously Richarlison is the first fixture in match day 5. The first game, 3 o'clock tomorrow, UK time. Croatia v Brazil at 3 p.m. So I've left the armband on Richarlison. If he blanks, I'll just move it to Messi against Netherlands. So Richarlison is the captain. And then on the team bench, I've got Martinez, who's got Netherlands. I've got Rabiot, who's got England. Klassen, who plays France. Klassen, who plays Argentina. And Danilo, who plays Croatia. So that is the bench. I've got 1 million in there. I've still got 3 transfers left to use, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. I think I'm pretty locked, guys. I don't expect many changes in the deadline stream. I think I'm going to stay with this. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What you think on my team? Is there anyone else that I forgot, or anyone else you recommend I bring in? So let me know your thoughts on the team. Also, please do like as well. Yeah, it really helps us out. And yeah, that is my team for match day 5, and it is the quarterfinals. So yeah, let's move on to your team, Jordan, and talk us through what your plans are as well in regards to transfers.
Okay, so this is how my match day 5 team looks after obviously the match day. First of all, we've got Alisson in goal. He's got Croatia. Particularly pretty much the same. Brazil haven't really let in many goals this World Cup. I think Alisson's probably the best goalkeeper to have at the moment so far in this competition. Definitely want a Brazilian defender going forward, at least one, especially against Croatia, who did struggle against Japan to get through to their quarterfinals. And with Brazil flying through it, sailing through it like it was easy for them to get the job done, I do think Brazil will potentially keep a clean sheet against Croatia, who may not have the capacity to cope with Brazilian attack, midfield, and defense. So, yeah, I think Brazil will have most possession in that game, and probably most contribution as well. Moving on to the back 4, we start off with Otamendi, who's got the Netherlands. I probably think of keeping Otamendi in there. I think in terms of defense, I want to go for defenders who have the attacking threat. And even though Argentina have the Netherlands, Otamendi has proved that he can be attacking as well as a defensive player too. He did get the assist on Messi's goal prior to this match day, which did get Argentina through in that Australia game. So I will keep Otamendi in just to see what he can do against the Netherlands. I'm not hoping for too much, obviously, from Argentina, as I've not been the biggest fan of how they've played football in this competition, but I'm willing to give Argentina another go, and we'll obviously see who comes up on top. Moving on to the second defender, we have Jordi Alba for Spain. So obviously he's been knocked out, as Morocco did go through to the quarterfinals and knocked out Spain. So obviously he is a priority transfer as one of my 5 going forward. So yeah, Jordi Alba will be going out my team. Next we have Van Dijk, who's got Argentina. Again, this is another transfer that I might consider taking because other than clean sheets, that's pretty much all Van Dijk has really contributed to this World Cup so far. I was hoping that Netherlands, when they had corners, Van Dijk was more clinical with them. Yeah, he has had 2 good chances so far in this World Cup to score, but they haven't really led to anything. So I might consider taking Van Dijk out and bringing in another defender with more attacking threat. And finally, my 4th defender is Romain Saiss. As we all know, Romain Saiss is injured at the moment, coming off that game Morocco had against Spain, which played the full 120 minutes as well as penalties. At the end of that, Romain Saiss looked leggy. Obviously, he has a leg injury, I think, at the moment, and it's unsure whether he'll be fit enough against Portugal, who they have next in the quarterfinals, which will be a tough game for Morocco, as well as a Gerd as well that we mentioned, another centre back who is also injured. So that's 2 fullbacks for Morocco that are at the moment not fit enough. Centre backs, not fit enough at the moment to play against Portugal, which could affect Morocco defensively without those 2 main key players in their team, because they did play well to hold back Spain throughout that game. So he will be again another possible transfer out. So moving on to the midfield, I have McAllister, who has the Netherlands. I wasn't impressed by McAllister last match day. It was quite lackluster against Argentina, and I didn't really see much involvement from McAllister either in that game, which I kind of expected a lot more, just because of the fixture and because it's Argentina. So he also might be a consideration to remove McAllister and not go heavy on Argentina, as the Netherlands game will be tough. I would say in the quarterfinals between them, it won't be a walk in the park. Obviously, it would be tight. Not much goal involvement either. So I'm trying to limit these Argentinian midfielders, I think, and McAllister is definitely the one I'll be most likely changing. Moving on to the next midfielder, we have Bruno Fernandes, who has Morocco. Fernandes has been amazing this World Cup. He's literally, I think, the highest scoring midfielder in the World Cup by, I think, 1 point. I think Saka is just underneath him. He is the top scorer for Portugal so far in this World Cup, and he has proven that he could be a goal scorer as well as a tactician, assisting other players in scoring goals as well. So against Morocco, I say this is going to be quite a good game for Fernandes, and I imagine a lot of people will select him for this fixture, especially with, as we've spoken about earlier, Morocco's injury issues in defence. It will give Fernandes more opportunities, especially if Romain Saiss and Gerd not fit enough to play in that game. So, yeah, I'll be definitely keeping Fernandes for the Morocco game. Moving on to the final midfielder, we have the USA midfielder Pulisic, who obviously USA got knocked out in their match day. So they will obviously Pulisic won't be playing anymore in this World Cup, and he'll be a priority transfer out for another midfielder who obviously has a fixture in the quarterfinals. But Pulisic has done well. He did get an assist in that game that they did lose in, so I was quite glad of that. He went out with a return in my team, so not all in all bad. But yeah, Pulisic has been quite decent this World Cup. Quite happy with him. It's a shame USA got knocked out. And moving on to the front three. So we'll start off with Messi, who's currently got the captain armband over him, and he has the Netherlands. Obviously, everyone's going to have Messi in their team for as long as Argentina are in the World Cup. I don't think he will be really removed, and for me as well, he's staying in my team just because of how great he is at scoring goals that we've seen in the World Cup so far. He's done it a few times, and I don't see why he can't do it against the Netherlands, which arguably is a tough fixture. But Messi can still return even if Argentina have a bad game. So yeah, I'll be keeping Messi in my team. Moving on to Mbappe, who has England. Now, this will be a very interesting and intriguing game, England versus France. A lot of talking points going on with this fixture, especially if the big question is, can England obviously stop Mbappe? And question is, we'll never know until obviously the game obviously kicks off. But I think Mbappe will have a field day against England. It will be tough, obviously. I'm not doubting England will be a whitewash in that game, despite France being on quite good form. Despite their many injuries, they're still looking sharp. And with Mbappe, he's pretty much the top threat England will have to watch out for. But I do think he will score against England. So that was obviously why I've kept him in my team. I do think he can still have a good game as well as score as well. And finally, we have the final forward, who is Gakpo of the Netherlands, who has the fixture against Argentina. Gakpo wasn't really impressed with him last match day where Netherlands won 3-1. It was quite not much involvement from Gakpo. If I'm honest, it's probably the wrong players that I went for in terms of the Netherlands. I say a bit unfortunate as well, but Yeah, I think Gakpo may be a possible priority transfer too. I just don't think he will get on well against Argentina, who will be a bit hard to break down and whatnot, and obviously be a very tight game. Maybe no goals involved in that match. So I think Gakpo, I could say I could swap for another forward who may have more fortune in terms of um, their fixture. So that is my starting 11 pretty much spoken about. I'll just go through my bench quickly. So I have not put who has Argentina as my goalkeeper. Enzo Fernandez, the Argentinian midfielder, who's got the Netherlands. De Jong, who's got Argentina, obviously the Netherlands midfielder. And finally, we got Theo Hernandez, the French defender, who's obviously got England on my bench. So I'll say De Jong and Enzo Fernandez are also priority transfers, as I don't really want to go forward with them two in my team either. But with Nopper and Theo Fernandez, I think I'll keep them obviously for their fixtures. So this is the part where I discuss my transfers. So I do have 5 available in this match day 6,
Match day
and
5, sorry.
oh yeah, sorry, match day 5.
Yeah.
And I have 0.5 in the bank. Obviously, I have no boosters, so I won't be using any. And I just want to clarify before the end of the match day, I did make 3 transfers. So if you're wondering why so many players have disappeared, it's because I did make 3 early transfers before the new match day opened, where you got another, obviously,
Another
5
5.
more. So I have made, technically, I will make 8 transfers. Just consider the 3 other players that you may see disappear in my team when I talk through my transfers, so it doesn't look confusing. So without further ado, I'll obviously now show you what my transfers are. So if we go to the next slide, I'll just let you know who I've taken out. So I've taken out Jordi Alba in defence. I've taken out Van Dijk as well, and Romain Saiss in defence. In the midfield, I've taken out obviously Pulisic, and also let me just flick back, and McAllister as well. So they're the 2 midfielders, McAllister and Pulisic. And up front, I've taken out Gakpo, obviously as the one of the forwards that has now disappeared. And on my bench, as I did speak about just now, I've taken out Enzo Fernandez, the Argentinian midfielder, and the De
De Jong.
Jong, the Netherlands midfielder. So all in all, that is, if I make this right, that's 8 transfers made. So just be wary,
That's
I've
a
made
lot.
3 already. So these are the 5 that I'm going to use that I have available. So these are the players I've swapped out for the ones I just spoke about that I've taken out. So we'll begin with the first one, the first defender that I brought in, and that's Dumfries, who's got and he's got Argentina, not Netherlands. I put in Dumfries because of he did surprise me last the fixture where he massive double haul that he got, and obviously he's been quiet ever since before that, and we always we did take him out Dumfries because we didn't think he would actually do much, but he did surprise us with that double haul, and I'll be interested to know what he does against Argentina because as a defender he is a very attacking one, so I did want to include as many attacking defenders as I can, no matter what the fixture was for them, just so there is that chance that they can get something other than maybe no clean sheet, because I don't expect many clean sheets at all from this stage onwards. So moving on to the next defender I brought in, and that is Dalot, who's got Morocco. He has had 2 assists so far, I think, in this World Cup, and he's a very cheap defender as well at I think 5.5 million. And the way Portugal played, obviously, last game, winning 6-1 against Switzerland, um, I was quite impressed with most of the Portugal players. And But obviously, because of the positioning wise, there aren't many attacking options to go for unless you go for a forward, because many are listed as that. But I did like to bring in Dalot just because he, as well as a defender, he's also attacking defender as well. And I think Portugal against Morocco will be a good game where you could potentially get an assist in that, or maybe score, which would be even better. But yeah, that is why he's cheap as well. So that is why I've decided to bring in Dalot. My next defender that I decided to bring in is Luke Shaw, who's got France. Again, I echo this same reasoning. Luke Shaw is an attacking defender as well. He crosses many balls into the box for obviously the attacking threats of England, and he does play high up the line. Whether he does or not against France, I'm not sure. Maybe there'll be more. I don't know, bit more.
Defensive or something.
Yeah, a bit more of a defensive rather than attacking against France. But I wanted to include Shaw anyway, just in case, because he does take, I think, corners as well. So maybe a chance they can get an assist from somewhere. But clean sheet, I'm not really confident about that. So I'm hoping for an attacking return from Luke Shaw. So yeah, they're my three defenders I brought in: Dumfries, Dalot, and Shaw. Um, I'll just talk about next my two midfielders that I've brought in. So the first midfielder I brought in is Paqueta, who has Croatia. Um, Similar reasons to Huss, because many of the Brazilian players that we want are listed as forwards. There isn't really many options to go for in terms of midfielders. Paqueta is the only real one that has a lot of game time in terms of how many matches he's played so far in this World Cup. Other midfielders haven't really played many minutes. I'll say Casemiro is probably the second best midfielder to go for, but he isn't really high in terms of where he plays in his positioning.
Yeah,
He
well,
does he does feed balls, but
yeah, obviously a
yeah,
defensive midfielder, so not as involved probably in the attacking third, even though he did score, didn't he, in one of the
yeah,
match days.
yeah. He scored a wonder goal from far out. But yeah, that's why I got with Paqueta, just because there's limited options for Brazil, and he did score in the last fixture against Switzerland. So yeah, I've included Paqueta. My next midfielder that I brought in is Jude Bellingham, who has France. He has been amazing for England in that midfield position. I'd say he's probably the best midfielder I've seen in a while for England. He's been pretty much on form. Like, there's nothing bad to say about him. He's been great in all aspects. And against France, he can cause France a lot of trouble, I think. I mean, a lot of people are doubting, obviously,
Mm.
England and especially players that they can't handle France. But I'll say the other way around. Maybe France can't handle players like Jude Bellingham on the pitch, who is young as well. He's full of energy, and he's probably wearing to go in obviously this France game. It's going to be an interesting one to watch, and obviously he's pretty much nailed to play as well. I very doubt Southgate will drop Bellingham to the bench as the form he's been in currently. It would
Mm.
be silly to do that. So that is why I brought in Jude Bellingham as one of my transfers. Now, finally, moving on to the front three. The only change there is Richarlison. I originally had Gakpo there. I brought in Richarlison just because of the fixture that Brazil have against Croatia, who they did struggle against Japan, getting through to the quarterfinals, which just tells you that Croatia against Brazil may be the similar situation where Croatia can't really get going, especially with Brazil and the way they were last game, where they just thrashed 6-1 win with many goal scorers behind it, and including Richarlison, obviously. And yeah, I think it's a similar situation with Croatia that Brazil would just completely overrun them in all aspects. And I do believe Richarlison can obviously be a part of that for the team. So he also has the captain man over him. So I'm pretty confident with Richarlison. And he is the first time in my team as well. I haven't had really any Brazil attackers like Richarlison thus far. But I do think they can make the finals as well, Brazil, just because of their fixture run they have. They're quite moderate to easy ones, and they're pretty much, I'll say, smooth sailing to the semi-finals. So that is my starting 11 transfers that I've gone through in terms of the players I've spoken about. I'll just talk about the two players I've changed on the bench. So I did have Enzo Fernandez as the first midfielder. I've now switched him to Rabiot, the France midfielder who has England. Rabiot has been quite decent for France. It may have not been successful in terms of returns, but the way he's played performance-wise, he hasn't really faulted me at all. He's been pretty good for France in the midfield. And against England, I'm willing to give him a chance in that. You never know what he could do, Rabiot. I mean, there's always a chance he can get an assist somewhere. He's done it previously before, and I do believe he could be a good asset to have going forward with the England game. And moving on to the next midfielder, and this is the final transfer that I've made in my team, and this is Saka. I originally had De Jong there instead, so I've brought in Saka now for him, who's got France. Now Saka, he's been great this World Cup, scoring I think 3 goals now, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
For England. Yeah, for
3.
England. And yeah, he's been quite good, as well as playing good for Arsenal. He's pretty much mirrored that performance for England. And I do think Southgate will start in for this fixture against France.
Yeah.
I think England want to go as strong as possible, obviously, against this France, because it's going to be a difficult game. And you never know, Saka, he could easily score. I'm never in doubt. And I did want to include England attackers into this fixture, just because of the unpredictable feeling it has over it. I mean, anything can happen in this, and I wanted to include Saka just in case he's a part of that. So that's pretty much my reasons why I brought him in. And yeah, that is pretty much all the transfers I've made. I obviously have 0 now because that would have used all my 5 free transfers up. So, and 0.0 in money in the bank. So that's pretty much all my money spent on making this team.
Okay, nice. So that is your team out the way. Obviously, I've done my team as well for those that are just joining late. Yeah, that's been both our team selections for match day 5 quarterfinals. If you guys are still watching and you have enjoyed the content, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you can. I'm going to take a few comments now before we wrap it up. MZ, what's up, Hassan Jordan? Shout out to MZ. Hope you're well. Difficult picking captain this match day, so activated my power captain. I mean, I've still got my power captain, so I may have to go down that route, but we'll see whether I do activate it in the deadline stream. But for now, I think I'm going to go without it. But yeah, it maybe is a bit difficult actually. But I mean, there's Richarlison. I think a lot of people will probably go Richarlison in that first fixture against Croatia, or maybe Neymar or Vinicius as well, which leads to this comment from Sahid. Vinny Junior, Richarlison, or Neymar. So both of us have gone Richarlison because I'm assuming because he's cheaper than the other two. But if money is no object and you have the budget to play with it, whoever, I would be tempted with Vinicius Junior personally. But yeah, I've gone Richarlison. I think he's a good pick anyway at that price. LW missed the boat on using my wild card. Given how many free transfers you get, there's not much point in it anymore. Yeah, I mean, obviously you saw Jordan, he made 8 transfers, which is basically a wild card, pretty much. So yeah, I think it is probably more better to use the wild card very early on. We used it in match day 2. So I think it probably is better. With FPL, we usually wait till later on the season, but with the tournament being so short and because we get loads of transfers every round, I think, yeah, it probably makes sense to use it earlier. He also says, also says, Delo over Guerrero is interesting, would free up 0.5 million and already has a goal and 2 assists so far. Yeah, obviously Jordan's gone with Delo. I've gone with Guerrero. We expect both of them to start again. Obviously, Cancelo is now dropped for Portugal. It looks like Guerrero and Delo are now starting right back and left back. So, yeah, it's interesting. Both, I think, are good options. You can't really go wrong either way, I think. But I've gone Guerrero. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it could be a good one. I definitely think you should have at least one of those in your team anyway. But yeah, those are our thoughts. But yeah, that's it from us, guys. That's been the team selection video for Matchday 5 quarterfinals. It does kick off tomorrow. We've got 2 fixtures tomorrow. We've got Croatia, Brazil at 3 o'clock, and then Netherlands and Argentina at 7 p.m. UK time. So looking forward to the football. We will have a deadline stream at 2 p.m. tomorrow. That will be just me on my own for that one deadline stream tomorrow. So do join me for 2 p.m. tomorrow, where I do a deadline stream and talk about the matches. So yeah, it should be a good one. And yeah, that's it from the FPL Joe, guys. We hope everyone's enjoyed this video. If you have, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Share the video as well if you can. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan, before we do wrap it up?
Yeah, just good luck, obviously, making your transfers. Hope you make the right ones for tomorrow. Obviously, I won't be here to see the deadline stream, but all the best to everyone, and green arrows for all those going forward into the quarterfinals.
Yep, that's it from the FPL Duo. Like, subscribe, and even drop a comment as well if you can, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah, take care, guys. See you soon.